All right, guys, it's time to answer that question. So I posted a question. The question was, can you name the 5 types of martial arts businesses that are out there today? My name is Chris Rangel. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the martial arts industry. I'm a martial arts business expert, and I'm here to try to answer the what and show you the how. So I'm going to utilize the Kaizen business principle, which is continuous improvement. But before we can get to that stage, we need to find out, one, the answer to the question. Two, what is the type of martial arts business that you currently run? And then what's your dream to become? Hopefully your dream is number 5. And if it is number 5, I can definitely show you how to get there. So let's take a look. Number 1, the number 1 kind of martial arts school that we see out there is the one where, we all have this equally great dream. We want to have family balance. We want to have a healthy lifestyle. We want to impact lives of others, or we wouldn't be instructors. We would love to have this as our career. It's not work. It's our career. It's our model. It's what we live. It's our lifestyle. Unfortunately, reality comes into the world, and we have to pay bills, things like that. And so the business aspect sometimes can get in the way of that and muddle things up. And they can look in 5 different pictures. So let's cover those quickly. So number 1, the first one is the business owner that gets out there and decides, hey, I need to find a building. I need to buy equipment. I need to go get students. I need to bring them in through the door. And the reality is I need to be able to pay rent, pay my health insurance, pay my taxes, pay my attorney fees, pay for LLC, to clean the studio. I have to keep my wife happy. I have to put shoes on the kids, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, what happens though is that first modeled store owner ends up having to work a full-time job. So you got 40 hours on the plate. Then he's trying to teach 20, 30 hours. And then he has to run the business side of it, which is another 10 to 20 hours because you are the janitor, you are the teacher, you're the bill collector, you're the advertising, you're everything that's a part of that business because, well, the business model just doesn't work. If you find yourself there is an answer for that. Okay? So in that category, you are looking at working possibly 100 hours and you're taking it away from your family and you're getting paid like it's 40 hours and you're taking money away from your savings or you're taking money away from what could be vacation time or vacation money from your family to pay for bills during the hard summer months because let's be honest, May, June, July are very struggling months for fitness and martial arts business industry. So that's number 1. The second characteristic would be the guy that, okay, he's all in. He's going to work 80 hours a week. He works 80 hours a week, but it's at his own martial arts studio. Full time. He is there in the morning. He's cleaning there. He's there late at night. He's answering phone calls. He's self-sufficient. Doesn't have an outside job. But the reality is he's still putting in 80 hours a week and getting paid for about 40 hours. That's what the equivalent of the paycheck is by the time you break down your hour for hour. That's model number 2. Do you find yourself in either of those? Well, let's go on. There's number 3. We have the traditional martial arts school. And that's not bad. I'm a traditionalist by by trade. And it's a workable thing. But here's what happens. A lot of them, they get like, small amount of numbers. They are able to pay their bills. They make enough money. They budget just enough to where they pay for their rent, their utilities, their legals, they pay their instructor back a little bit, and a little bit of side spending money, but basically you have just enough students to cover the overhead, cover everything, the lights are on, they last forever, it's their bread and butter, but they never gain anything from it. It's just there. So they still have the old mats, or they're still wearing the uniforms from 1975, or it just never evolves. So we've covered several different models. Let's go to model number 4. Please hear me. Please hear me. Please hear me. I am not putting down anybody. I am not saying that this is wrong, because for some people this is right. And in any of those categories, that may be right for you. But we have, and this is a bad term, but it's called a McDojo. All right, we have people that sell out to programs that would possibly take, let's say, 40% of your income. They're going to tell you to get out there, and they're going to have memberships of 500 students. So I mean, it works. You're going to be making that $20,000 a month. It works, but you're also giving away $10,000 a month, right? So you're paying these proprietary dues. You're selling out. You're giving some people. I'm not saying everybody in this situation, but we've seen this where yes, they have 400 or 500 students, but they're losing 50% of those students within a year and a half. I did have a gentleman that said, hey, the average is a 3-year retention rate. And I said, that tells me that it takes 3 years to make black belt in some cases, because they have 50 stripes and they're pre-testing and post-testing and practice testing, and they're milking these students. And they put them on these 3-year guaranteed track that they're going to be black belts in 3 years. As soon as they get their black belt, they're out of there, right? Mom's not going to re-up. They're like, you know what? They did the same thing over and over and over for 3 years, but we'd already prepaid. And that's why the retention is at that 1 to 3 years. And the problem with that is that you have you're always constantly filling that funnel with 200 people, because as long as you keep that funnel up ahead of the game, you can afford to lose 50%. They make a lot of money, but here's what it becomes. They become a daycare. They become all the things that they mostly said that they wouldn't become, due to the fact that they want to make a few dollars. You've become a daycare center. You've become almost a paper mill. It's like, is that certification strong? Is it worth the amount that those students are paying? When some of those students end up at my studio, and when they do, they're first, second, third degree black belts, but they're performing at maybe a green or blue belt level. And that word travels. Martial arts is a small world, and it's filled with experts. So let's give our students 100% back what they give us, right? They fill us with joy. They fill us with impact, the ability to impact and empower. Well, let's give them the number one top level service. Let's give them accreditation that across the board, no matter where they go, when they walk into that other studio, they can, because they're going to go away for college, they're going to go away in the military, they may get married and move across the country. They're unforeseen circumstances that happen. And when that happens, you want to send them with the best regards. I've had students that move to New York, California, to Germany, to back to Brazil, to different areas. But when they went back, their certification carried, and they were recognized. That's the kind of quality of education and certification that you want to send forth with your students. Okay, so that takes care of the 4. Do you fit in any of those 4 categories? Well, I'm going to share with you, and we're going to wrap this up. Number 5. Number 5 is this. Number 5 is using Kaizen principle. Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Aim. We want to aim to the ceiling. Always emotion, take action motion, achievement emotion. If we do those things and use principles, you're going to work 40 hours. You have that life balance, right? But you're going to get paid like 100 hours. Like it's 100 hours, right? So what I mean by that is your gym should be making money for you when you're sleeping, right? So you should have effective quality programming. You should be able to have certifications that I don't need to pre-test. I don't need to do these things. What I test for, my student is ready for. When I say it's time for belt test, they're ready to belt test. I don't nickel and dime my students. I've had a retention rate of right about 94%. I lose about between 5 and 6% a year, but that's due to maybe they move away to college or go in the military or start a new program. But I will tell you, I've got 3 generations deep, and I've got an average retention of 12 years. That's unheard of in this area. Do you want to know how to do that? Do you want to have that life balance? Do you want to be able to go home at the end of a class and say, honey, wow, I did this tonight. I impacted Johnny. Mary Bell was here and now she's here. I want the respect of the community. Wow, you're a martial arts owner? It's not, hey, he's this guy that just does kicks and ninja guy, right? He's a business professional. Do you want that status? Do you want to walk and when you walk into a gym with your team, if you have a competition team, that they know who you are and they respect you. When you walk into a business summit, they know who you are, they respect you. You know how to do your return on investments. You know how to do your books. You know where you're at each month. Do you want that? Do you want that peace of mind? I can help you. Give me a call. My name is Chris Rangel. I'm going to teach you the Kaizen way, continuous improvement. Let's get together. Let's take it to the top. Have a great day. My phone number is 316-727-6663. Give me a call today. Thanks.